Hey guys, I'm excited. I'm pretty sure you can tell I'm excited. My body's just shaking, a little something like that. I don't know why I'm excited. I don't know if it's because last week turned out amazing, and then this week we're continuing Faith That Moves, or because I've been talking to my girl all day, and she gave me a message, and we prayed and everything. We ready for today. So today, forget an introduction. I'm so excited. We're going straight into it. We're gonna talk about beginning your faith. So what is faith? Faith is believing something that cannot be proven. For example, we all heard different Bible stories about faith, we all heard different Bible stories in the past, right? We can't physically prove that it happened. Why? We weren't physically there. But guess what? We put our faith in it that it happened. And we're continuing to go forward, and we continue to say, okay, I'm gonna trust in what is written and what is said. So let me give you a better example. Some people out there say they want some context, right? We can't physically see Wi-Fi, but we believe in it. You can't see wind, we still believe in it though. When you go to a restaurant, you can't physically see how your food is being prepared, right? What the chef or chefs are doing to make sure that your vegetables and everything is washed properly. Everything's being cut and cleaned properly and everything like that. But we trust that the food will be cooked well done, and anything won't happen to us afterwards, right? Now with beginner's faith, I can show you how we put it in motion. See, Hebrews 11 verse 1 says, faith is the confidence of what we hope for, but the assurance of what we do not see, right? Let's talk about motion. I'm not a scientist, but Fred, roll the clip. So now, faith begins where knowledge ends. As you guys just saw how we put, our faith in motion. When we're beginning our faith, we're trying to actually put faith in God, right? Let me show you what it looks like. So many times we try to understand things by ourselves. We try to comprehend things. We try to be the answer to the solution, right? But God is saying no. In Proverbs, right, in chapter 1, it says, in all your ways, trust God and acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. God is saying, look, if you completely trust me, I can direct your path, and I can take you and guide you through no matter what you are facing. God is also saying that I want you to lean on me. I want you to depend on me, right? See, for so long, we try to do things on our own and try to play God in a way, right? But God is saying, look, the Christian life is about dependency on me. It's not about trying to understand everything. That's where faith comes in. Fully trusting in me. If we know that all things are working out for our good, and we know that God goes before us, and God says that we should never fail, there's no way that we should be able to sit here and say that God leave us or make us feel surrendered or anything of that sort. See, if you grew up in church like I did, you're probably aware of this song that goes like this. I can't sing, so bear with me. He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 Now you see, when we put our faith in God and we trust him, now, we can sing the song with confidence. You see, he's got my bills and my mortgage in his hands. He's got my brothers and my bills in his hands. He's got my school and my relationships in his hands. He's got my coworker I'm about to cuss out tomorrow in his... Kidding. But you get the point, right? No matter what we go through, no matter what we face, it's in God's hands. When we depend on outside sources like we talked about last week, going to materialistic things like clothes and addictions and friends to cope with this world, God says, no, I want you to depend on me, right? So we're gonna dig a little bit deeper in it. Let's go to our next point. I wanted to give you guys a different perspective of how to look at things, right? Sometimes we look at the perspective on the what instead of the who. What do I mean? We put our faith in the prayer, but not in the one who can answer the prayers, right? So look, when I look at something with the naked eye, right? I have a perspective of what I'm looking at. Well, you see, I don't have 20/20 vision. So when I put on my eyeglasses here, when I put on my eyeglasses, right? I have a whole new perspective, right? I feel like God is telling us today to put on our spiritual eyeglasses. So God is saying, look, Your perspective is wrong. I haven't left you. I did not abandon you. I'm here. What is the word say? I will never leave you nor forsake you, right? You are the head and not the tail. God says we are more than a conqueror. Once you put everything in God's hands, you can see God's hands in everything. So God is saying, look, if you put your situation or your circumstance or circumstances, depending on what you are going through, school, your family, your friends, relationships, right? The job, the career, the finances, everything. God's like, okay, I see your perspective. You're not focusing on what it looks like, but you're focusing on maybe my God can turn this around. You see, when you change your perspective, you're just like, okay, I know what God can do, right? I seen him do this before. I seen him do this before. So what? Maybe God can do it in my life too. We talked about how we have the Mark, the Matthew, the Lukes, and the Johns, right? And how God is trying to shape the Freds and the Ians and the Sams. When you change your perspective, I can do it through you too. Faith will force you to be uncomfortable. And if you're too comfortable in life, you feel like you have everything figured out, God is saying to you, there's somewhere in your life that you're destitute of faith because you feel like I can't move or I can't shift it. But I can. God says you don't need a lot of faith. You need faith as small as a mustard seed. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can move mountains. I'm talking about faith smaller than this little pebble right here, right? God is saying, look, this is tiny. Look how tiny this pebble is. Hold on. Now, guys, you see this right here, right? God says, look, faith is smaller than this. I can move mountains. I can shift things in your atmosphere. You can call things to life. You can manifest things smaller than this. So it's not about, God says, I don't want you to just have 100% of 75%. As I showed you in examples before, God says, I'm not asking for 51%. I just want you to be able to step over the line. And sometimes we can't do it on our own. So sometimes we have to ask for assistance for the Holy Spirit to come, right? When the Holy Spirit comes, we're trying to walk, but we're unfamiliar. It's different for us. So I encourage anyone today that no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're struggling with, God got you. God says, no longer do I want you to be behind the line. Just step over it, right? He can help you. So I encourage anyone, if that's you, whatever you're going through, finances, friends, family, hardship, give it to God, right? Have that faith that can move mountains and move situations. Faith that moves, beginning faith. See y'all next week. And I just want to say thank you guys for still tuning in. Thank you for praying for the arm. I'm getting better. I'll be back to my normal self in about 6 to 8 weeks. I know a lot of people are probably like, oh man, sit down. But see, the thing is, you guys are the reason why I keep going. I do this so you can get that fuel. You can be energized and something could be lifted inside of you. The Holy Spirit can come inside and just maneuver. Faith that moves, guys. Part 2, beginning's faith. See you guys next week.